again. So last year was the first year I ever grew sweet pea, and I saved some of the seeds to try and grow them again this year. So these are the seeds which I saved. I was intrigued with the way the seed pods work. They seem to shrivel up and sort of force the seed out. So first time for me seeing that, first time growing sweet pea. I saved the chucks or whatever you would call them in for the compost, and the seeds themselves were saved in a pill container with some silica gel to keep the moisture out because they were kept outside on a shelf in the lean-to. So I'm not sure I stored them properly, and I'm not sure how viable they would be. And I also mixed up both types. I had two different kinds. I had allspice and fragrance, I think. So what I'm going to do is, for this year now, I've taken about 100 seeds there, put them on a damp tissue, and I'm going to keep them in a little plastic container somewhere warm. And I'll check on them in a few days' time. I put the container away on the 16th of January, and this is the 19th of January today, if I can manage to get this video up by midnight. And you can see in 3 days we have quite a few of the seeds have germinated. So this is an ice cream container that the ice cream shops get their ice cream delivered in. My granddaughter rescued about 6 of them last year. So I'm just going to top this up with compost. That's commercial compost. And in the yellow container is my own vermicompost. Now, I never sieve my vermicompost, because what I found is if you store it in a bucket or a container with holes around the side to let air in and keep the moisture in check, it will just continue to break down no matter how big and lumpy it is when it goes into the container. And you can see this is quite fine, and were I to sieve that, I would have lovely, very fine vermicompost. But like I said, I don't bother to sieve, so because the sweet pea have deep roots, that's why I'm putting them in this ice cream container, and they're going to sit there for quite some time before they'll end up being separated and transplanted out. So that's my thinking behind giving the commercial compost a bit of an oomph by adding my own vermicompost. The rough material here is what I sifted out of the commercial compost, because I've got a small pile of very finely sieved commercial compost here, and that's to go into the holes I'm going to make to drop the sweet pea seeds in. I left the container sit in a tray of rainwater just to soak it thoroughly. And then I'm just going to press holes. I'm making 3 holes here, but I'm not entirely sure. Maybe 2 would have been better. But I think I can get about 15 seeds into this and then separate them, hopefully without doing too much damage or disturbance to the roots. So I'm going to top this up as well a little bit, so I'm not going down too deep, halfway between the sort of tip of the finger and the first knuckle. So I've actually made 17 holes there. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to sow the ones with the deepest roots. Now, there's also some which have got smaller roots, and there's some which the shell has just started to crack, so I think they're going to germinate as well. So into the ice cream container I'm going to put 17 of the ones with the longest root. I'll get the 3-inch pots then and sow 2 of the seeds with the shorter roots into them. And I can get 20 onto a trader, so that's 40. So I'll be sowing 57 seeds today, which have germinated. So hopefully I'm guaranteed at least 57 sweet pea plants. I'm never worried too much about getting the root the right way down. I'm always convinced that the seed knows which way to push out its shoots and its roots, so they'll turn around. So these now will go into, I'll pick out another 40 or so of the ones which look like they have germinated, and the rest will then go back into a warm cupboard. But I won't put all that on vid now. I'll just show you what I'm doing with these, because it's the same principle, the same sort of thing. So I'm just going to, the finely sifted compost, I'm just dropping that into the holes now. I don't want to push down because you saw the length of some of those roots, and I don't want to damage the roots. So my thinking here is I'm just going to drop the very finely sifted compost into the holes. That'll work its way around the root, but the root and the seed need good contact all the way around. So to ensure that, once I've top this up, I'm going to pour quite a bit of water through, and that should hopefully guarantee that all of that loose compost will now settle completely in the hole, making full contact all the way around. I'm using rainwater from the butt because I have plenty of it. We've been having plenty of rain. Now, we're going to have to be very quiet when I take these indoors. I'm just going to take these into the back room, which is kind of like a junk room in the house, really, because I have to hide them. Mrs. Worms has told me that I will be in so much trouble if I sow seeds any time before the 20, no, not the 20th, the 14th of February. So I have been banned from sowing seeds until the 14th of February because last year I started sowing seeds. I think I sowed the sweet pea in October. Then I sowed chilies, peppers, tomatoes, and so on. And the entire house was covered in heat mats, heat trays, light. Every windowsill and square inch of the house was taken up with pots and containers and lights and all sorts. So I was warned this is not going to happen this year. So all I did was tap that down very gently. As you saw, I'm tipping it up on the side to just any extra water that's going to drain now. I'll leave that stand for now. Now we're indoors and we have to be very quiet. That's the tray of 23-inch pots with 2 of the sweet pea seeds each in them. Okay, listen, I'm going to leave it there. I need to get out of here before I'm caught. Hope